Hello, this is Jeff Roden, and this is my article summaries for AEP 855 Educational Leadership. These articles were on race, class, access, gender, and equity, and I kind of just chose three different kind of articles on three different types of these discriminations and went from there, described each one. First article that I chose was middle school basketball player claims racial harassment by teammates. I thought this one, as soon as I saw it, was kind of neat because we don't have a lot of racial harassment in the area in which I live. Um, we do have a few minorities, but everyone seems to get along pretty well. That being said, I do coach middle school basketball, so I thought I'd take a look at this one and see what I thought about it. The facts on this case in Kentucky, there was a female Asian American student, and she said she was harassed by her teammates for 2 years, seventh and eighth grade, basically. And there were not many other minority students in that area in Kentucky, and her coaches kind of turned a blind eye when told about it. So her father sought outside help after the unsatisfactory responses. Some leadership challenges here is that a person in leadership position must do everything they can, do their best to make sure that the minority students are not harassed, especially in communities like this where there are not many minority students. That precaution needs to be taken. Um, a challenge here might be that the coaches need to be dealt with on an individual basis, talked to, make sure that they know that this kind of behavior is not acceptable as a coach in their district and that kind of thing. And also the students need to be talked to, groups, just their teammates, whatever. Learn that it's not okay to treat other students that way. It's bullying and not acceptable in schools in this day and age. How I would apply it to my area, and I'm kind of looking at this as an administrator here, I would institute an anti-bullying campaign. In the school I'm at now, we've been doing anti-bullying work for several years. We have baller bands that are given out for students who show exceptional behavior, do kind things towards others, and those who receive the baller bands can be put into a drawing to receive a bigger prize. That kind of thing. Incentives just to keep our school as bully free as possible, and I think it's done a good job. Next step, if I deemed it was necessary after visiting with the coaches, if they didn't show any kind of remorse or understanding of how it was wrong, they might need to attend some discrimination trainings or sensitivity trainings, that kind of thing. I would also try to visit with the parents and calm the fire there, I guess, and assure them that it would be taken care of. We'd speak with the coaches and other students, and that type of behavior will not be tolerated at my school. The second article that I looked at dealt with gender a little bit, not so much discrimination here, but just an interesting piece on college success here. And this article stated that young women are more likely now to aspire to go to college and eventually enroll and graduate from college at higher rates than men. And I thought that was a pretty interesting piece of information. I kind of thought it was maybe the other way around, but right now women are more likely to do that. And this is even despite research that shows males perform better on the exams and placement tests that they are required to take. And it shared some reasons why in the article this might be occurring now. It said that men have a lower tolerance for debt and that they are overly optimistic about their ability to earn a good salary without a higher education. They think they can go out and get a job right away, straight out of high school, not have to take on that debt and get a job that pays nearly as much. And the article did point out that in some ways that's right. What did it say? 1 out of 5 men who graduated from college earned less money than men who had no college degree at all. So 1 out of 5 is a pretty high number, might make you think twice about it. On the female side, however, the number was smaller. 1 out of 7 or 1 out of 8 women who did have a college degree did earn less than other women who did not have a college degree. Some leadership challenges in this case. Administrators must continue to make sure that males are encouraged to continue their education. If I was an administrator, I would believe that higher education is a valuable resource, will generally help you in the long run. And I think that it's crucial that women and men be given the same chances for scholarship and other aid as men. The article pointed out that women have a tolerance for debt generally roughly around $2,000 higher than men, and in almost many cases that women end up with higher debt when they are finished with college than men and have to pay that off then. And I would continue to encourage women to go on to college at a higher rate and have adequate help for finding financial aid so that they aren't necessarily having to take on that extra debt that men do for whatever reason that is. How would I apply it to my area in my school? I would talk to all students their junior year and have statistics and examples ready to show them how a college degree can benefit them. Even if I can only tell them that 80% of them will earn more money by going to college than not, that number should by itself be a big enough number to make them consider going to a four-year college, even if they know they're going to have that debt to pay back. Because in the long run, those higher salaries will pay off for a lifetime higher earning. There will be students not interested in four-year college, and I can't say that I'd totally disagree with that. I would explain the benefits of a two-year college, a two-year degree, and many of those jobs are high-paying jobs. You can go into many fields right now in a two-year degree and come out of there and maybe make more money than a four-year college degree, depending on what it's in. Final thing I would do here is treat each student individually, help them find their best fit, best type of college for them, best size of college if it's a four-year college, and any financial aid that'll help them along the way. I think that's a big boost to students if you can get them scholarships and grants and that kind of thing. Final article I chose was Class Matters in and out of school, and this was a little bit longer article, but a very interesting read. It states that educational specialists realize there is an association between social and economic disadvantage and student achievement gap. It related a lot to students in cities, students who lived in the suburbs on the outside of town from the higher earning parents, higher earning families generally had a greater chance of achievement than students in the inner cities, in the projects in that part of town, the slums, and they had several ideas, reasons how to fix it. It would be a massive overhaul of not only the education system but of the economy and that kind of thing. The authors believed that the quality of education for all students begins outside of the school. And raising the achievement of lower class children requires the amelioration of the social and economic conditions of their lives, not just school reform. They did talk about school reform, but believe it's bigger than that. Multiple steps in creating that. some of the things they talked about, and one challenge for a leadership position would be trying to not only change things at the school, but also with families in the communities. All right, when you're a principal or an administrator at a school, you deal with the things that go on there. So to push things outside of those boundaries would be very tough to do. They talked about setting up early education programs, and that would be very beneficial. But when you go down to 0 to 3 years old, under pre-K even, it's costly, and there aren't that many educators trained for a 1 year old trying to do education with them, for example. Small class sizes are sometimes hard to obtain due to student population, building size, and budget. It's been shown that they're beneficial. Sometimes it's hard to do. Could be a challenge, though. And how would I apply this to my area? Many of the ideas in the article are very feasible, good ideas, like making early childhood education a high priority in our district. You may not be able to go down to 0 to 3 years old, but if you did pre-K as a high priority, I think that could make a big difference. Smaller class sizes have been linked to better learning environments and high achievement. Trying to benefit students by smaller class size could be something that could be done. And building a quality relationship between the home and school needs to be established. Families should be active in the educational community. And that's one thing the article really pointed out, was keeping the community involved with the education. So that's my presentation on these issues that are kind of facing us. 3 separate areas here, kind of dealt with gender, race, and social class, so to speak, or access. And thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.